Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. An incredible season of Call of Duty has just come to a close. The World Championship is in the books. Atlanta FaZe have been crowned victorious. What a final series it was. So much to discuss here over the coming days certainly, but a cracking series we're going to dive into today. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Already up to the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Of course, this was the venue as it set up shop to get things going here for the Championship Sunday. One match to be played on the day. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a blowout. Early on it looked like it was going to get kind of suspect, but some fantastic moments in this series. Peak Call of Duty to be honest. Loads of viewership as well. We do absolutely love to see it. And well, let's crack on right here because everything has led to this very moment. So much to talk about this entire season, of course, as deservedly so. The two best teams of the entire year. FaZe versus Ultra, a team that certainly could put up a fight with FaZe, but it just was not, it was never going to be easy with FaZe playing as good as they were right here. Certainly some potential moments that Ultra could have got this one done in, but well, we'll have a look at exactly how that transpired here in just a couple of seconds time. As Arcitys says, to kick off the day, what a year, one more series, hashtag FaZe up. They were getting ready to go, and well, this is how things looked coming into the weekend. So FaZe and Ultra made a crazy run, and of course, like, FaZe won their two series 3-0, 3-0. If they'd have won this series pretty swiftly, it'd have been one of the more, well, swift grand finals championship victories you are ever going to see, especially at the World Championship. Ultra, of course, make this incredible run through the lower side, and they were looking to get it done without that 1-0 disadvantage. The Dallas Empire will had the advantage over FaZe last year when they came from the winner's side of the World Championships. This time it was not a thing, so well, it was just a straight up duel. This is a pretty incredible stat I did talk about earlier today, but if you guys missed it, this is the first championship ever that none of Karma, aBeZy or Priestahh were actually winning. From 2013 all the way to 2020, one of those three players won champs every single year. Pretty ridiculous. That was not the case this time around, and well, this is how things kicked off. So early on, it was the AR duos. I mean, look at this statistically. Arcitys and Cellium with a 1.24 overall KD so far. The combined is actually higher for Inside and Cammy, just because they played more maps. But certainly these lads turned up and played some phenomenal Call of Duty this series. You've got to tip it to the Ultra guys, man. They played out of their skins and just pipped at the end of the day by a better team. But how exactly did that transpire? Let's dive into things. The Ultra contingent in the house, hoping they could get something done. Of course, Europe versus North America. It's a great story. The last time this was a story was back at the 2016 World Championships, and it felt like Ultra maybe had a chance to get something done here. Thought this is cool as well though, because there was a lot of co-streaming going on. The main Call of Duty channel was co-streaming it to about 20k viewers at the peak. There was a load of other ones as well. Vicstar had about 10k viewers at a time. Courage was in there as well. There was another couple of guys also co-streaming it, so great to see. Great for the viewership, and if we could do this on Twitch next year, that would be even better. But let's get this series underway. Game 1, Toronto win it. Remarkable scenes. Toronto do not very often play a Moscow hardpoint, but well, FaZe play it relatively often. But it's Ultra that win this 250 to 175, and a very rare occasion where Simp goes 10 in 26. Probably his worst KD performance in a single map we've seen this entire year. Goes way more than double negative, at least in like KD wise. Probably one of the worst maps you're going to see this entire season out of an individual player. Of course, it's Simp in game 1 that has it, and well, you kind of feel at the time, okay, once Simp turns up, then they're going to turn things around. But a fantastic start for Ultra, getting out of the gates early on, 250 to 175 there, and well, actually, I already went through that first map, but this is what the maps and modes look like, right? A couple of raids in here would have finished off on a Moscow Surge, a game mode that, well, Toronto Ultra are very good at indeed. But this Apocalypse hardpoint, that's what I was looking at, right? Because it was Atlanta FaZe. The last time they played the Major, they had a great result on that, or in the Stage 4 Major. When they were in the Grand Finals there, they had a great result on Apocalypse up against Dallas Empire. And it was like, okay, well, Toronto needs to do particularly well in some of these early search and destroys. And to me, it felt like they just have to win one of the controls and split the searches, and they've got a great chance here. Because that Moscow search and destroy game 9, I was probably favouring Ultra if it did indeed go the distance. So really interesting map set, to be honest. But FaZe are just so damn hard to beat. Ultra come out strong. They win this game number 1 very impressively indeed. And look at this statistically. 0.38 KD for Simp in the game 1. That is not something you are going to see every day. And then this game 2 was completely ridiculous. There was this round especially where Cellium had a 1v2. He takes down Clinix. It's Bance versus Cellium in the 1 versus 1. Bance kills him, runs to the bomb, and look how close this is. This is like maybe a few pixels. I don't even know how many pixels that is. But so close to getting this bomb defuse off with 0.0 on the clock. It doesn't happen. The bomb explodes, and FaZe got 4-2. Eventually, FaZe close out this map. It was very close indeed, but FaZe typed the series. If that was a 2-0 deficit there for FaZe, maybe they start getting in their own heads, maybe they get a little bit shook, and that might be all of a sudden where you start to see a team like Ultra running away with things as they did against the Minnesota Rokkr in the Grand Finals of the Stage 5 Major. This is how it finishes. I mean, aBeZy was an absolute menace this map. He had some crazy kills in the round 11. He had like more first blood. He had an equal amount of first bloods than the rest of the players did in the entire lobby. Pretty ridiculous stuff. And well, round 11 takeover as well to boot. This guy's out of control. During the middle of the entire thing, they dropped this trailer, right, for the alpha that's coming out soon for Vanguard. crowd, this champion hill type thing going on. Sure, there's some things to talk about on this in terms of, what implications for competitive play, let's just say, in the coming days. Multiplayer reveal coming September the 7th, but let's get back to the Call of Duty, because, well, this is where FaZe started to go on their tear. This is where it got somewhat scary, right? Because it was like, okay, hang on a second here. Ultra are just getting bodied off the face of the earth. Simp finally turns up in this control, goes 27-14, and all of a sudden, FaZe are absolutely running away with the thing. They win this 3-0 on raid control, no doubt about that one, and like an 8-minute, sub-8-minute control. That was not what I was expecting. I thought Ultra would at least end this one to a round 5. That did happen in the second control, as we'll look at here, and that may indeed have been the dagger for the series. But then we go to a raid hardpoint, and honestly, I thought that Ultra are really, really good at raids, and right here, they get completely blown off the face of the earth. So I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh wow, hang on a second. FaZe are hitting absolutely dominant form. I'm pretty sure the Tiny Terrors were like 51 in 25 combined on this map, and it was like, okay, they're hitting form, Simp's coming alive, it's going to be game over for the opposition, but a Miami Search and Destroy comes into play, and at 78 is actually the third lowest hardpoint score on raid this entire season, which is the third most dominant raid hardpoint win of the year, comes in the grand finals, FaZe versus Ultra. That is not something I necessarily expected to see, and as Octane says, FaZe could have a quarter of the commas is fourth, and Tyler that being aBeZy, and Chris that being Simp would still do it all and get the job done. And some of the reaction, I suppose, from behind the scenes as well, the way the crowd was separated with like the VIP section down here meant that you didn't quite get the the loudness of the crowd, I suppose, the noise of the crowd all together like you might have done it if the venue was laid out slightly different. So the venue probably could have been done better in terms of how it was laid out, and there were certainly some questions about the crowd we can look at right here in a second. And then it goes to a Miami Search and Destroy. To be fair, even though it is pretty dull, even in the grand finals of this caliber, it was a perfect situation for Ultra to kind of catch their nerves a little bit and come back into the series firing. They win this map. I mean, this is a pretty ridiculous stick the Clinic's got right here on Drasties that helps them close out this one, and 3-2 is very much achievable, especially when they go to a garrison control and go up 2-0. This was really where the dagger really did feel like it came through from Atlanta FaZe. It was drawn to Ultra. They went up 2-0 in this map. They lost a very quick offense, or they were on defense. Atlanta FaZe won a very quick offense to take it to 2-1. They won their defense as well, and now it's a round 5. Cellium has full streaks, like the rest of the FaZe guys have full streaks as well, and Bance goes on an absolute mission around top green. He goes on like a 5 streak, killing absolutely everyone in sight, somehow finessing around, playing his life, getting them off the point, and the streaks come to no fruition at all, and like the streaks are wasted. It's a 10-8 life advantage for Toronto. It feels like they're going to close out this round 5, and Bance has been an absolute hero, but Simp manages to sneak through mid, pops a 3-piece in the back, and you can see he's getting hyped, no doubt, because Ultra, honestly, if they didn't get 3-piece by Simp right there, they probably close out that game. That was a 4-2 advantage now for Atlanta FaZe, and could they make it work? They're getting hyped, understandably so, the FaZe guys. I mean, what a result from those guys, no doubt, here in this control, just to win that. I mean, honestly, incredible ice factor from these guys. It's honestly incredible. Like, what's ridiculous about FaZe is, if they're not getting incredible multi-kills and popping 3 pieces and 2 pieces and all the kills lighting up red, they're at least trading something out. They very rarely go 4 dead, even though we will see in this Search and Destroy in a second, a 4-piece came through emphatically indeed. As Rad11 Stat says, going into this raid surge, pray for Ultra, because FaZe are undefeated since stage 4 at 6-0, but Killer Cammy decided to have something to say about that. This was one of the more ridiculous plays we have seen this entire season. An A versus A battle, really, all the teams go down that route, and Cammy sitting up their top laundry, picks up every single kill. The shots on the final guy in RCs are absolutely spectacular. Of course, he kills the guy top red, picks up 2 guys that are absolute, and then he just snaps on RCs, beams him off the head glitch bottom red, and takes a ridiculous ace. 4 kills in the same kill cam. You don't see that every day, and Cammy honestly keeping them alive, and then he continued on and did the same thing again a couple of rounds later. It was a 2 versus 4. The bomb was down for Ultra over at B. Cammy was down low, picked up a 3-piece to keep them alive. He was honestly doing it all for the Ultra guys, and the fact that he didn't make the team of the year, as we looked at earlier today, pretty mind-blowing stuff, no doubt, and they go on to close out this game. Honestly, Cammy did it all for them, and in this final round, it's Insight and Co. They get the job done. Once again, a B plant comes through, and that is enough to send them over the line and send us further in this series. A 4-3 situation, very different, of course, to 5-2. They could have won it then and there if they'd have won this round 11, and I was wondering what could happen, but of course, we go to an Apocalypse hardpoint, and this really was where Cellium came into play. First of all, I wanted to say this for Miles, though, because, there was some dodgy stuff going on in the crowd, people trying to call people out, like saying, okay, that, he's planting, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like, we don't want to see this type of stuff. The crowd this weekend could have been better on a few different fronts, I'm sure, but still, as I say, the venue didn't necessarily make it perfect, but yeah, let's just cut that out going forwards. It was still a great event, and it's still great viewership as well. It reached up 200k, at least if you're considering all the co-streams, probably a fair bit more than that, actually. We'll have to tally things up, probably talk about it tomorrow, but this is where Cellium in this Apocalypse just went absolutely rogue. He was on a bit of a streak, and he found this crazy spot to actually get a kill, like he did a little bit of jump shot going on the final rotation to P5, takes down, I think, Bance laying in the back, who had no idea, gets streaks off the back of it, and that really helps them close out this game. That is, a victory for Atlanta FaZe. At the end of the day, dominant, expected. They've had a phenomenal season. It's a fitting end really to an absolutely dominant season from Atlanta FaZe. The Dynasty conversation is certainly being kickstarted right here. From my perspective, they have to continue this dominance into another title to be truly considered a dynasty, but this is certainly a good start. Winning 3 events, now winning the World Championship. It's phenomenal stuff. Wanted to give a shout out there to the Toronto Ultra guys. They played a phenomenal weekend of Call of Duty. This team is absolutely spectacular to watch, and the only team really that consistently this season has felt like putting up a good challenge to FaZe. They do so once again right here. It's just not quite enough. They get pipped to the post again. It's tough to see for those guys, right? Like Cammy was spectacular, Clinics inside, Bance as well. They all had their moments. I feel bad for Bance, right? 5 years after his first World Championship Grand Final, falls short again. But against a team as ridiculously good as FaZe, what do you really expect? These guys are truly on another level, and the scary thing is they are not slowing down anytime soon. This team obviously is going to stick into next year. How far can they go? Can they continue dominating tournaments like this? As they've done pretty much this entire season. They looked almost untouchable at times when they were on form. Toronto did incredibly well to get 3 maps off them. I don't really think any other team in the game was taking 3 maps off them the way they were playing today. And the individuals, phenomenal. But Simp, aBeZy, Cellium, and Arcitys, what a squad that is of 4. And FaZe finally get another feather in their cap, I suppose. All through Call of Duty history, FaZe has been a legendary organisation. They've never got a World Championship ring to their belt. Now it is that day that they managed to accomplish that. aBeZy and Simp again get another ring under their belt. I mean, they did it on the United and RCs, of course, a couple of years ago. Simp is only 20, and he's already got 2 rings. That is very scary indeed. Honestly, the top 10 of all time conversation, the GOAT conversation in a few years' time is certainly in jeopardy. As I say, feel really bad for Bance and the rest of the guys as well. GG's to FaZe, as he says. Great series, disappointing to see them fall short. And just to finish off the video, this aBeZy finally gets his name on some sort of trophy, wins the Championship MVP. Simp won it for the entire season. Championship MVP goes to aBeZy. Kind of, I think maybe I would have given it to Cellium, but still, can't really complain about aBeZy getting an award that he probably deserves after his performance so far this year. And of course, the year comes to a close. Roster Mania beckons, the big red button. You guys know the drill. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm. Like you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.